My wife has been encouraging me for a while now for me to go and talk to somebody. Just there's years and years and years of, I mean, there were a lot of rough years there. But I'm like, I can't do that. You know, I mean, I know the guy gets paid to sit there and, but it's just not necessary, you know? I'm still old enough and I'm of the school. It's like, just deal with it.
Suck it up.
You know, I broke 3 ribs one time in a barn, saddling horses, horse threw a fit, took 8 aspirin and got on that horse and did a 4-hour ride because I had a job to do. It's my job. Now, I know, let's go back to balance, okay?
I was about to mention that.
I understand. I'm with you 100%. But at the same time, your balance and my balance and his balance are different. And so I think a man has to find his own balance. You're going to get so many messages on here disagree with this. But I think that this thought of men's mental health, emotional health, go get help, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's out of place. But I think, like everything else, I think it could be taken to the point that men just become weak. And brother, let me tell you, in this day and age, we don't need more weak men. Now, when your internal battles come to the point that you need help because they have weakened you, then get help, you know. But I think everybody's balance is different. And I fear there was a problem for years on this side, but I fear, just like everything else, with that subject being pushed the way it is, we're going to get out of balance on the other side. And it's like, and everybody needs therapy for everything.
I think checking in with yourself and not treating your first response as always the correct one. I think the immediate sort of reflex that we often have, especially as young men, young and men, is an issue because that you haven't accumulated enough experience for you to be able to call it gut instinct wisdom.
Right.
What it is probably your default response, which is from childhood, from the group that you grew up in. Maybe it's dad's pattern, maybe it's mum's pattern, maybe it's the teacher and the way that you had to protect yourself in school. It's unlikely that that is the best way for you to deal with things. So I think, don't believe everything you think.
Yeah. Can we boil it down to a bouillabaisse and say, look, when you have the thought, don't trust the thought, I need to do this or I need to do that. What if we start asking ourselves why? Why do I need to run 300 miles with 2 broken legs? Because David Goggins said so? You know, why do I need to do that? What is the purpose? Not why for me, but why do I need to do that to make myself the man I need to be for those around me? Why do I need to say, you know what, I need to spend more time in the backyard with a cigar? Why do I need to do that? And if the answer is because I'm becoming overwhelmed, overtight, losing my balance, losing my focus on what really matters in life, I'm becoming hard to live with to those that I care the most about, to those who I am the most responsible for. So the why is, this will make me a better person for those around me. Me being able to bench press 200 pounds as opposed to 180 pounds does not necessarily make me a better person for those that I'm here to serve. It feeds my ego. So maybe a little more time in the gym doesn't answer the why, and a little more time in the backyard with my kids, that gives me a better answer to the why do I need to make this choice as opposed to that choice. And maybe that's a little more accessible to a young man without a lot of experience. And it's as simple as that. I would buy me a cigar.
I wonder how many men can say that.
Not as many as should.
I wonder how many people can say that. How many people say, I like me? They would give more grace, more care, more attention, more love to somebody else than themselves. There's a statistic around, I think on average, the likelihood that you are going to complete a course of antibiotics yourself is about 50%.
Right.
The likelihood of your dog completing it is 95%.
Yes, yeah.
So we're literally capable of caring for a pet nearly double as well as we can for ourselves. Remembering that if you die, no one can look after the pet.
Right.
So in an odd roundabout way, serving yourself and serving others from a cup which overflows around your own, or the saucer that sits around your cup is important. And again, this sort of tension between being self-serving, being narcissistic, being egotistical, being self-centered, and not meaning that.
Right.
It's this delicate balance, and this is what comes with growing up. And I think this is why one-size-fits-all flaming sword advice seems to die away as people get a little older.
Yeah.
You listen to a Joe Rogan, and a lot of what he's saying is hedged in some regard. It's caveated. It's this is what worked for me.
Right.
Not this is how everybody should do it.
Right.
And there's a humility that comes with age.
Right. Right. Because if you turn around and look back with open eyes at your life, you see all the scars. I mean, you can't. The only way you cannot be humble in old age is when you refuse to look at the reality of your life up to today. That's the only way.
Because nobody's skated through it perfectly.
But this is what drives my, and it sounds ludicrous in my ears, but my business endeavors today. This is the core of what drives me. Okay, there is no business out there that I can take on. There is no monetary endeavor that I can take on that is worth the gamble of me losing me. It took me years of a lot of grief and pain and work to get to be who I am today in spite of who I was. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose myself in business. I don't want to lose myself in trying to earn a better living, in trying to get a name, in trying to do this. It's like I have turned down so much because I've looked at it and I've asked myself, who's this going to make me be? Who's this going to turn me into? Even a little bit. And it's like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. And so I'm right now trying to find the balance in undertaking something that's not going to alter me, that I'm not going to lose myself, and then not succeeding at something because I was too afraid to try it, which has never been an issue with me before. I've never been afraid of failure before. But now I've got something I don't want to lose, and that's myself that I actually like, a me that I actually like. Does that make any sense? You understand?
100%.
Okay.
The person that you have to spend the most time talking to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose that respect.
Right.